Hi and welcome to this video. In this video, we'll learn about how you can read or write text files in Python using standard library functions. When you are trying to access a file in Python, there are certain modes, better defined like R for read only, R plus for read and write, and A for append only, and so on. Let's explore them more closely. First of all, if you want to open any text file in Python, you can use the open function. And you can just give the path to the file inside like this. And this is where the file is stored in my system. If I go to files here and then find the datasets, you will see that the file _1 txt is stored under datasets folder. The next parameter that you pass is the mode in which you want to access the file. As you know, just R means that read only. So I just want to read this part. I don't want to write anything to it. And because open is a function that's available in the standard library of Python, you do not need to import any package or module for it. So now we have created the file object. You can just use the read function in order to read all the text that is present in the file. So let's print it. This is all the text that's present in the file. And suppose I want to read again the same file. And this time, if I use the same code, I just get a blank screen. And the reason for getting this empty screen is once the file has already been opened, there's a file pointer that goes over all the contents of the file. The way this works is once you have read the entire file, the file pointer starts from 0 and it goes to the last index in the file's content. Once the file pointer has reached to the end of file, if you try to read again from the file, it will not give you anything, because it has reached the end. In order to fix this problem, what you need to do is you need to first close the text file that you have recently opened. So this is how we open the file. We read the file, and the next thing that you have to do is you have to close it using the close function. Once you close the file, then if you read it again, you will get the output. So this might look too much of work for you. So there's a shortcut way of handling things here, and that is using the seek function. So seek function basically seeks your pointer to a certain location. Here I have given the location index 0. That means the start of the line. Now even though I have read this file once here, if I call the read function, it still gives the output. And if I read the second time, then again you will have blank screen, because again the file pointer has reached the end of the file. Now again, when you reset the pointer to the initial position using the seek function, let's do this, run, and now again you read this file, you will get the output. So this is another way of doing things. Now as I mentioned earlier, using seek function you can move the pointer to any point in the file. So here I have been given the value of 300, which basically says start from the starting of the file, go to the character, that is the 300 character in the file, and from there read it. So I keep the pointer to the 300 position. Now if I read it, you will see that I'm getting half printed on the file approximately, not exactly half, but from the 300 character onward. Similarly, you can give it any value that you want and you can read it from that character. Now that you have worked with your file, it's always a good practice to close it. So far, we were looking at how to read an entire file together, but as you know, in real life, files are usually written in line-by-line format. Suppose you want to extract the contents of file line by line. In that case, once you have opened the file using the same code that we have seen earlier, instead of using the read function, just use the read lines function here. And it will simply tell you, like in this case, it's saying that there are 30 lines in this text, and it will simply give you the contents of the file line by line. So what read lines does is, it returns you a list of your file's contents. And this is just a list when each element is the line that is present in your text file. And because it's a list, you have looked over it and then you have printed. Now there's another way to open text files. So far, we were always making sure that we close the text files once we are done with them, so that nothing gets crashed or there is no unwanted, unexpected error. In order to avoid doing that explicitly by yourself, there is another syntax in which you can open a text file in Python, which is this. So you can just say use the same open function and the path and the same way of calling open, and then use as F and use the colon, and then you read the file. So whatever you write here inside this code block, once those things are done, the file is automatically closed by Python. So here inside this code block, I'm just saying just read the file and save it in this variable called complete tags. And so it's done. Now let's run this one and run this code. Now you get the result of the entire text, which is the complete text variable. When you use this syntax, you do not have to specifically close the file every time because Python takes care of it for you. This is another syntax of working with file, and you can explore this on your own. Now we have done a lot of reading. It's time for writing content to text file. So just like the read content from text file, the mode was R, that is read only. For writing, we'll have to pass the W mode. So first of all, you open the file with the W mode and then write the things that you want to write, the content to this file. Then use the write function. Remember, we were using the read function earlier. Now we are using the write function. And then the write function basically returns to you the total number of characters it has returned to this file. So in this case, if you just count it, you will see that there are 24 characters in this sentences, including the spaces and exclamation mark. Now we have returned this to new file. If I try to open new file.txt in Python and read it, we will get this text. And let's close it now. Similarly, if you go here on the datasets and open new file, you will see that the text is present. Now just try to add some more lines to the file again. So open this file again, but this time with W+. Now I have this list of lines that I want to be written to this file. Line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. Just like you can use a write function to write a single string to a file, you have write lines which are similar to read lines. Now you can write a list of lines to your file. So this is the list here, and these are the lines you have returned them. Now we seek a pointer to the initial position of the file so that we can read it. And let's run this one. And there's something strange that you can notice here. The initial text that was in the file, data science is awesome, has been replaced by this new text, line 1, line 2, line 3, and line 4. Let's see the new file text, and we need to refresh this. So as you can see in the text file, the initial content is missing. Now what has happened basically is when you open the file again to write new content to it, you just overwrote what was written earlier. Now in real life, the way you work with files, you open a file and then you add some content to it. You ideally want it to be appended to the file, not overwrite it. That is something that you can do in Python also. But in that case, you have to open with append mode, A+ mode. In this mode, I have opened the file and we'll again write some text. Let's say, welcome to the Python course, and then read and see what is inside. Initially, remember that this is the text, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4 in the current file. And now we add welcome to the Python course to this existing file. And here we can just refresh this new file and see the content. If you can see, even in the original file, the initial text content which was there is already there. Now you have the new text file. So this is how you can work with text files in Python. Thank you for watching this video.